The first zone, which is playable here, and there's lots of computers open for anybody who wants to try it out, is called Howling Fjord. And we'll show you a little bit of Howling Fjord. We have some concept art. As you can see, we're avoiding making the zones all snowy and icy, so we've come up with a lot of different looks. We find that players like a lot of change in environment, so we're not sticking to one unique art style. We're changing it up from zone to zone. Here's the actual design map of the zone. It shows the various points of interest. I also have a brief movie to show you of actual in-game footage that will show you the zone. And like I said, you're also free to try out the zone on one of our monitors over here. So here's Howling Fjord and just a brief movie of it. This is where the Alliance shows up. It's a town called Valgard. Valgard was actually introduced in Warcraft 3 originally. And just sort of shows you the breadth and the scope of what we're building. There's an evil race called the Vrykul who inhabit this area, and a lot of the architecture is theirs. The first dungeon that you'll get to adventure in actually belongs to them. So a lot of varying different points of interest for the different play styles of people who play World of Warcraft. There will obviously be PvP objectives. There's a 5-person dungeon, low-level dungeon in this zone at level 70. Within minutes of coming to Northrend, you can get into a 5-person instance. And we also have a high-level instance in the zone as well for level 80 players. So as you can see, we've really steered away from making all of Northrend just icy. Kind of an evil, foreboding area that the Vrykul have inhabited that you're seeing. They have a very Viking style to them. Just some of our environments. Now we'll show you one of our next zones. It's Borean Tundra, and Borean Tundra lies on the west of Northrend. Borean Tundra is another alternate route that players can take to get to Northrend, and it's the same level range as Howling Fjord, so they'll have a choice of where they can adventure. We also have some concept art of Borean Tundra, and you'll notice right off the bat that it has a very different feel from Howling Fjord. It looks very different. We'll show some of those concept pictures. And we have a lot of Naga who are residing in Borean Tundra, and they're actually melting the ice to create more water. Here's the design map, and we'll show you another short movie of what Borean Tundra looks like in the game. There's Warsong Fortress, which is where the Horde will get to adventure out of. It's actually a friendly Horde hub, so our Horde players, we want to give them a very epic, big base. There's the Alliance town. It's a small gnome town. You see they've got a landing strip right there for their flying craft. So built in typical gnome architecture. Then there are the colder areas of the town where we introduce one of our new races to World of Warcraft called the Tuskar, an NPC race of walrus men who have come and inhabited the coast of Northrend. They're traditionally they're fishermen, and they're neutral to both Horde and Alliance, so that they're friendly to player races. Some of the underwater shots showing off our new technology. Been doing a lot of improvements to the things that we're able to do to make the Northrend zones look better than any of the zones we've previously built. So as you can see, the coastline here is very icy and very cold, but inland it gets warmer and warmer because of what the Naga are up to. And a lot of that storyline will be explained to players in their early play experience. All right, we'll show you a couple other Northrend zones. We've got Grizzly Hills, which lies to the north of Howling Fjord. It has a very different feel from many of the zones we've shown you so far. We're just going to show you a couple concept pictures. You can see it kind of looks like the Pacific Northwest in the United States, or Sequoia National Forest. And we also have some in-game footage of this zone as well. This zone is home of the Furbolgs, and we'll develop that storyline a lot more. So players who are familiar with the Furbolgs from the original World of Warcraft know this race already, and we can delve into them further. we'll show you a little bit of our zone in action. So as you can see, it's a very deep green forest with large redwood trees. A lot of interesting stuff going on in this zone as well. We bring back the Venture Company, which World of Warcraft fans from the original game will know very well from Stranglethorn Vale. They're the goblin multiracial group that's sort of deforesting the lands of Azeroth. Well, they're up here in Northrend too. What better area to deforest than the lush forests of Grizzly Hills? And then we'll be showing one more zone here at the show, and that is the zone of Dragonblight. Now, Dragonblight is the zone that people traditionally think of when they think of Northrend. It's very icy, very jagged ice cliffs in this zone. It's also home of the Scourge. They have a large presence here, a lot of dragon bones all over the area. So we're going to further be developing our dragon storyline in this expansion, so we're very excited about that. Big dragon characters like Alexstrasza and Malygos come into play in World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King. So there's the zone layout of the map, and again I have a brief movie that we can show you that will show off what the zone actually looks like in the game right now. This is just a mid-level zone too. This isn't like a max level zone. We'll be introducing those later in the development cycle and showing those off, but we like to get as epic a feel as possible early on as possible, because not everybody hits maximum level in the game, and we want there to be cool stuff for all the players, not just the end players at the end game. So, you know, a very snowy, harsh sort of environment that exists here in Dragonblight. So we'll be moving on, talk a little bit about some of the features that are coming up. First, the big question a lot of our fans have, what about a capital city? In Burning Crusade we had Shatrath as a central city. Well, we'll be happy to introduce Dalaran, which has been under that bubble for many, many years now. Ever since in Warcraft 3, actually the player is the one who destroyed it in Warcraft 3. Dalaran has been rebuilding under the bubble, and in Northrend we'll be going on and moving Dalaran over to Northrend as the Kirin Tor did. So you can see there it is in Northrend. And there's the actual to scale map of where it will exist.